There is a quiet moment at the end of the day when everything begins to slow down. The lights are softer. The noise of the day fades into the background. The world around you is finally becoming still. Yet sometimes, even when the night grows quiet, the mind does not follow so easily. Thoughts return. Unfinished moments replay themselves. Worries that stayed hidden during the busy hours of the day quietly rise to the surface. Many people reach this moment carrying more than they realize. The responsibilities of the day, the pressure to figure things out, the quiet weight of trying to control what tomorrow might bring. If that is where you find yourself tonight, you are not alone. Here at Evening Grace Prayers, this moment is not about solving every problem before sleep. It is not about reviewing everything that went wrong today, or trying to predict what will happen tomorrow. Instead, this is a sacred pause, a moment to loosen your grip on the things that have been weighing on your heart, a moment to remember that you were never meant to carry everything by yourself. Tonight, before sleep comes, there is an invitation waiting here, an invitation to lay down what you cannot control, and allow your heart to slowly return to rest. Father, as this quiet evening settles around me, I come before you with an honest heart. Today has held many moments. Some were peaceful, some were heavy, and if I am honest, there are still thoughts I have been carrying that I do not quite know how to put down. I have tried to trust you, yet sometimes I still find myself holding tightly to things that are not mine to control. I replay conversations. I worry about outcomes. I wonder how certain situations will unfold tomorrow. And in those moments, my heart becomes tired from trying to manage everything on my own. So tonight, Father, I come to you just as I am, not pretending that everything is settled, not pretending that I have all the answers, but willing to release what I cannot carry anymore. You see the things that are still sitting in my mind tonight, the responsibilities that feel heavy, the situations I cannot fix, the questions that remain unresolved. I bring them all to you. I release the pressure to understand everything. I release the need to control every outcome. I release the worry about what tomorrow might hold. Your word reminds me to trust you with all my heart and not lean on my own understanding. And tonight, Father, that is what I want to learn to do. Even when I cannot see the full path ahead, even when the answers are still unfolding, help my heart to rest in the truth that you are already present in the days ahead of me. You are not surprised by what tomorrow brings. You are already there. So tonight I loosen my grip on the things that have been weighing on my mind. I place them gently into your hands. And as this prayer continues, I ask that your word begin to guide my heart into deeper trust. Father, as I remain in this quiet moment with you, I remember that your word was given to guide hearts exactly in moments like this, when my mind feels uncertain and my thoughts begin to circle the same concerns. Your word gently redirects my attention back to truth. You remind me in Proverbs to trust in you with all my heart, and not lean on my own understanding, but in all my ways to acknowledge you, trusting that you will make the path straight. Tonight, those words speak directly to my heart. So often my instinct is to rely on what I can see. I try to analyze every situation, anticipate every outcome, and protect myself from uncertainty by holding tightly to control. But your word invites me into something different. It invites me into trust. Trust that does not depend on perfect understanding. Trust that does not require every question to be answered before peace can exist. Trust that allows me to release the burden of trying to manage everything myself. Your word also reminds me that you have not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. When anxious thoughts begin to build, when worries about the future quietly return, this promise becomes a place of refuge for my heart. Fear does not have to guide my thinking. Worry does not have to dominate my evening. Instead, I can allow your presence to steady my mind and bring my thoughts back into quiet alignment with your care. Father, tonight I allow your word to gently reshape the way I see the things that concern me. The situations I cannot control are not outside your reach. The future I cannot predict is not outside your wisdom. And the burdens I have been holding are not too heavy for your hands. So instead of tightening my grip, I allow your truth to loosen it. Your word reminds me that I am not navigating this life alone, and because of that, my heart can begin to release what it has been holding. Father, as this quiet evening continues, I allow my heart to slow down in your presence. There is something about the end of the day that brings honesty to the surface. When the noise fades and the responsibilities pause, I begin to see more clearly what my heart has been carrying. Some of it is worry, some of it is fatigue, some of it is the quiet pressure I place on myself to keep everything together. And tonight, I admit that sometimes I become tired of trying to manage everything. There are moments when I feel as though life is moving faster than my understanding. Situations unfold that I cannot fully explain. Questions arise that do not immediately have answers. In those moments, I notice how quickly my mind tries to take control. I start thinking about what I should do next. I begin imagining outcomes. I replay conversations. I analyze decisions. And before I realize it, I am carrying burdens that were never meant to rest entirely on my shoulders. Father, you see those moments. You see the quiet fatigue that comes from trying to hold together every responsibility, every expectation, every uncertainty. Sometimes the exhaustion is not physical. It is the exhaustion of the mind. The exhaustion of constantly thinking ahead. The exhaustion of trying to ensure that nothing goes wrong. And tonight I confess that there are areas of my life where I still struggle to release control. There are dreams I hold tightly because they matter deeply to me. There are outcomes I hope will unfold in certain ways. There are seasons of life where I quietly compare myself to others and wonder if I am moving forward as I should. Sometimes I look at the pace of someone else's life and wonder if I am falling behind. Sometimes I question whether I have missed something important along the way. Those thoughts can quietly settle into the heart if they are not brought before you. So tonight, Father, I bring even these thoughts into your presence. I bring the fear of missing a season. I bring the pressure of comparison. I bring the quiet doubts that occasionally whisper that I should have done something differently. You know every part of this heart. Nothing about my struggles surprises you. Nothing about my questions pushes you away. Instead, you meet me here with patience. You remind me that your guidance is not rushed. Your work in my life is not hurried. Your plan is not dependent on my ability to control every circumstance. And as I sit quietly in your presence, I begin to notice something shifting inside my heart. The pressure begins to loosen. The tight grip of worry begins to soften. The constant need to figure everything out begins to relax. Not because every situation is suddenly resolved, but because your presence reminds me that I am not navigating life alone. Father, I also admit that sometimes I grow weary of uncertainty. There are seasons when the path ahead is clear and confidence comes easily, but there are also seasons when the way forward is less obvious, when decisions require patience, when answers take time, when the future remains gently hidden. In those seasons, it can feel uncomfortable to release control. Part of me still wants reassurance, part of me still wants clarity, part of me still wants to know exactly how things will unfold. Yet even in those moments, your presence invites me into something deeper than certainty. You invite me into trust that your wisdom is greater than my perspective, trust that your timing moves with purpose, trust that the areas of life I cannot fully understand are still being held in your care. So tonight, Father, I begin to lay down the quiet tension I have been carrying. I release the need to understand every outcome. I release the pressure to solve every problem tonight. I release the expectation that I must have complete clarity before I can find peace. Instead, I allow my heart to settle into the truth that you are already present in the places I cannot yet see. You are present in tomorrow. You are present in the decisions that still lie ahead. You are present in the situations that feel unresolved. And because of that, my heart can begin to rest. Father, as I sit here in your presence, I notice how your peace slowly replaces the weight I was carrying. The thoughts that once felt heavy begin to quiet. The pressure I felt earlier in the day begins to fade. And in its place comes a quiet reassurance. You are still guiding my life. You are still shaping my path. You are still working even in the moments when I cannot see the progress. So tonight I allow this quiet trust to settle deeper within me. I do not need to force tomorrow into clarity. I do not need to carry every unanswered question into the night. I can rest in the truth that the one who created this life is also faithfully guiding it. And under that gentle care, my heart begins to release what it has been holding. Father, as this evening prayer gently comes to its close, I allow my heart to settle more deeply into the quiet of your presence. The day that once felt so full is now behind me. The thoughts that once pressed heavily on my mind no longer need to remain there. One by one, I place them into your care. I take a slow breath, and with that breath, I release the tension that has been resting in my heart. You see everything that this day has held. The moments of effort, the moments of uncertainty, the moments when I felt strong, and the moments when I quietly struggled. None of it was hidden from you. And yet your presence remains steady through it all. So tonight I rest in that truth. The things I cannot control no longer need to stay in my hands. The questions I cannot answer tonight do not need to keep my mind awake. The future I cannot fully see is still safely held within your wisdom. Father, I ask that your gentle peace settle over this night. Let every home represented here feel the calm of your presence. Let every mind that has been restless begin to quiet. Let every heart that has been carrying worry begin to release its burden. As the night deepens, allow our breathing to slow, our thoughts to soften, and our spirits to find rest in the assurance that you remain near. Thank you for the gift of this day. Thank you for your patience with my heart. Thank you for being trustworthy enough that I can release what I cannot control. Now, as sleep approaches, I place this night entirely into your hands. May your peace remain over every listener. May your presence gently guard their rest. In the precious name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. If tonight you are choosing to release what you cannot control, you can simply write, "I release it," in the comments as a quiet act of trust.